I'm on fire, and now I think I'm ready to bust a move. Talking about the Vikings linebackers today as we continue on our training camp preview, taking a look at the dudes who stack up and rack up the tackle. So, of course, starting at the top. I can never figure out which direction to point. You know him, number 54, the man in the middle, Eric Kendricks, number 54 in your program, number 1 in your heart, 6-year pro from UCLA, go Bruins, second round pick in 2015, teaming him up with Anthony Barr, who we'll get to in a sec. 110 tackles last season, also led the NFL for linebackers with 12 passes broken up, and Pro Bowler, first team All-Pro. For our money, he's the best off-ball linebacker in the NFL. At minimum, the best coverage linebacker in the league. And it's just really great to see him blossom and grow. I know a couple years ago when he signed that 5-year, $50 million deal, a lot of people were like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But now it's a bargain. He's worth every single penny and then some. Also, I think he's going to be a captain this year. Next up, someone who is a captain as well as from UCLA, number 55, Anthony Barr, strong side linebacker, Mike Zimmer's first draft pick when he first got here in the Vikings 2014, number 9 overall. Remember, that was a draft when the Vikings were at 8, and they're like, oh, we're going to take Manziel. And no. But last year, 79 tackles, 1.5 sacks after coming back, 11th hour. 13th hour, actually, spurning the Jets and signing a 5-year, $67.5 million contract. Now, last year, but good news for the Anthony Barr haters that his contract is out of guaranteed money after this season, so the Vikings could actually get out from underneath his deal relatively unscathed. So, I don't know. This is a bit of a big deal, big season for Anthony Barr, especially in terms of stepping up with leadership, because it was one thing when you were a defensive captain along with Linval Joseph and Everson Griffin. You could let those guys do some of the heavy lifting. But now with both of them gone, Everson could be back, but, with both of them gone, he is the incumbent. He is the only remaining returning defensive captain. So, next up, the third linebacker, number 50, Eric Wilson, 2017 UDFA out of Cincinnati, a physical combine, free converted safety, adding some size and doing the damn thing. Came back to the Vikings. He's on a restricted free agent tender. Now, the Vikings actually signed him up to a long-term deal. That remains to be seen because we've talked about the Vikings just do enjoy cycling through the backup linebackers, and they do that in the draft. So could Troy Dye be a replacement for Eric Wilson? It's exceedingly possible, right? So I don't know if the Vikings will have 3 linebackers on a long-term extensions, but Wilson is great in what they ask him to do. He's a weak side linebacker in base defense, which isn't very often, but he did put up 62 tackles last year, a combination of defense and special teams, including 3 sacks last year, a career high. Is a standout on those aforementioned special teams. So TBD what happens. I think if he has a good year, maybe the Vikings move on from Barr. Maybe they roll Wilson and Kendricks. Could be a possibility. Next up, number 45. I love when linebackers were 40 series numbers. Don't at me. Numerology podcast coming soon. But Troy Dye, 4th round pick, number 132 overall, 6'4", 231, was a 4-year starter for the Oregon Ducks. 2019 as a senior, put up a 77.4 PFF grade, 84 tackles, 2.5 sacks, as well as 2 picks, helped lead Oregon to a Rose Bowl. EW, was a 3-time second team All Pac-12, 2017 through 2019. Now, the thing about Dye is he's phenomenal in coverage, needs to add a little bit of strength and size at the point of attack to be a hold-up in the run game. But, I mean, we've talked about that if the Vikings are looking to replace J-Ron Curse at that big nickel, that third safety, that larger slot corner type role. I mean, Troy Dye could be in there. He certainly has the agility and testing numbers as well as the eyeball test. He's phenomenal in coverage, could easily fill that role as well. Next up, number 42, Ben Gideon, 2017 4th round pick. Now, remember, he came in the same year as Eric Wilson, but then eventually lost his job to Eric Wilson. Now, I do like Gideon in a backup capacity. I think he's fine filling in at all 3 spots, but play some special teams. That's really about it. 13 tackles last year, is in the final year of his rookie deal. I think that this is probably going to be his final year in purple, if I was a betting man. Next up, Jordan Fair, UDFA, out of Appalachian State, 6'2", 230. Now, he's a bit of a freak. He has a 415-pound bench press, according to the team site, as well as he ran a 4.45 40, as well as a 40.5-inch vert. So Vikings, they do like themselves some raw potential, some raw athletes on the defense. Put up 211 career tackles, 17.5 tackles for loss, 8 sacks. Now, that was over 43 career games. If that happened in one season, that'd be a record or something. But I don't know, he's a guy that maybe is a long shot to make the practice squad even. But you have those physical attributes. You just really don't know. I mean, things could come together for Jordan Fair. Next up, number 47, D Marquis Gates, 6'2", 221, 2018 UDFA out of Ole Miss. Bounced around a couple of practice squads as well as training camps for a while. Ended up in the XFL, Houston Roughnecks, the XFL champion Houston Roughnecks, it should be. 32 tackles, 2 sacks before the Rona shut that league down. So does have some talent and shown it at the professional football level. Brown. 2 more to go. The other UDFA linebacker, so Blake Lynch, guy that I really enjoy, 6'3", 225, coming out of Baylor. He was a linebacker, safety, cornerback, running back, wide receiver. 2019, exclusively at outside linebacker, put up 68 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, 2 picks, as well as 2 passes broken up. Was also 2019 all Big 12 honorable mention. So Lynch and Fair, just 2 athletic balls of raw clay that the Vikings could maybe stash on the practice squad. Could be something down the line. Yeah. And lastly, number 59, Cameron Smith. So 2019 fifth-round pick out of USC. He's noteworthy because we point out here a bunch where he was the only member of the 12-player draft class last year not to make the opening 53-man roster last season. So, eventually did make it up to the big team. Assembled 8 special teams tackles over 5 games last year. So, I mean, there's talent. There is a lot of talent there. I think there will be some turnover in the linebacker room before next season. So I think Eric Wilson's probably a dog to be back. Ben Gideon is for sure gone. And hell, maybe Anthony Barr will be off the team. But a lot of unique, very interesting athletes filling out this linebacker room. So let's get it on. All right, your thoughts? Vikings linebacker core as a heading into training camp. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, pull us on the Venmo. Plus give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull, production value.